Also, Jeff, possible rain this week.
Yeah, later into the week. Next few days still look pretty good. Comfortable mornings, warm afternoons. It'll be the end of the week where we are going to get some impacts with what is developing down in the tropics. Heavy rainfall, which we need. Maybe we get a few inches of rain out of it. That would be a good thing. The bad thing is there could be some potential severe weather. At least that's always a possibility with these systems. We'll, of course, have new information tomorrow morning.
All right, thanks so much, guys. LawCall is next.
This is WAAY 31 Law Call.
Good evening and welcome to WAAY 31 Law Call. I'm Sharon Joviet. Tonight it's Ask Us Anything night, so we're opening the phone lines up and the text lines up and the emails up to any kind of legal question. Everything from car accidents, medical malpractice, nursing home, negligence. You saw the story in the news this week, a man dying from having the wrong organ removed in a surgery. Calling your questions, 256-536-0077. You can also text a question to that number if you're kind of shy. Or you can email any legal question any day of the week. You send it to lawcall@waytv.com. And when we get to a show that's on point, we'll pull some out. We've got some of your email questions tonight. We've got with us Heath Brooks from Timberlake League and Brooks. Good to have you here.
Good to be here. Ask us anything.
Ask
at all.
us anything.
Nothing's off the table tonight. Nothing's off the table.
We're going to start off while we're getting your calls logged in. We have got some video. We like to show you a video and you make the law call. So this video, so watch the transfer truck there. You're busy highways and lots of things going on. If you're a truck driver, you've got a hard enough job. Watch this black car right here trying to squeeze in to this merge lane and it runs out. Now, I'm not sure that I saw any kind of sign that said the lane was running out. Okay, right. Does that, when you're looking at something like this, because you do personal injury cases, your firm does personal injury cases, car accidents, if you're looking at that, what do you see?
Well, I can tell you the first thing that I see. I see somebody trying to pass a truck driver on the right-hand side of the road. Okay. And then I also try to see somebody beating someone when they should be merging. It's not up to the truck driver to move over to the left. It's up to that little black car to slow down and come in behind the truck driver. But I can tell you that as a tractor-trailer driver on the road, you never ever need to try to pass a tractor-trailer on the right-hand side of the road, because what a tractor-trailer driver is trying to do is get over right to allow slower cars to come around them. So, you know, if you're in a lane and you're passing a tractor-trailer on the right-hand side of the road and the tractor-trailer does come into your lane, then it's the tractor-trailer's fault. But I can tell you, in those kinds of accidents, even if it is the tractor-trailer's fault, you're never ever going to be happy with a situation where you're involved in a wreck with a tractor-trailer. So be safe out there. Don't try to get ahead. Don't try to pass a tractor-trailer on the right-hand side of the road. Slow down. Go behind and try to go on the left. But in that scenario, it looked like the tractor-trailer driver couldn't do anything. They didn't have the ability to go off to the left, and that car was trying to pass him on the right in a merge. So I think that'd be on the black car.
Those kind of roads, so interstates, major highways, you kind of try to avoid those,
That's
right?
I I see too much.
Yeah, you do.
I see too much. I try to stay off of interstates if I can.
Isn't that interesting?
Just because everything, people just, I don't know, they lose all sense on the interstate. So, you know, what I try to do is I try to take the safest route I can, drive as carefully as I can. You know, the speed limit is the speed at which you can exceed, not the speed at which you have to travel. Now, there is a minimum speed on the interstate. It's 40 miles an hour, and don't go slower than that.
We've got a text message. This one came in kind of like that news story that we were talking about. The person had surgery and passed away because the wrong organ was taken out. That was an Alabama man, not in our area. I was misdiagnosed with my illness and given the wrong treatment. What should I do to ensure it doesn't happen again? And I think this is the same person saying, can I sue because I was given chemo unnecessarily?
You know, here's the deal. Chemo was tough on the body.
Yes.
And that's one of those things that when you have chemotherapy, it sticks with you forever. I mean, once you have chemotherapy, you really are, it's very difficult to get back to the same level of life that you enjoyed before then. Some people never do. And so, you know, if you are misdiagnosed with cancer and then you have to have chemotherapy and it causes detrimental effects to your body, you could potentially have a claim there. In a medical malpractice claim, if the doctor that is treating you or if the facility that is treating you breaches the standard of care, And that's just a fancy legal term for they provided medical care that was different than other doctors would have on a nationwide level. If they breached the standard of care and that breach of the standard of care caused you injury, then you may have a claim. And those types of claims, you know, typically in a medical malpractice scenario, they do end up in court. So can you file a lawsuit if a doctor misdiagnoses you as having cancer and then gives and then you go through courses of chemotherapy? It's certainly a possibility. That's something you need to contact a lawyer about, and let's review the case.
We had gotten in an email question. This is from Damon. Damon wrote, "My son was in a fender bender with another student at his school. It wasn't much damage at all, scratch on the bumper or something like that. So I'd like to just pay the other kid's parents a couple of $100 and be done with it instead of getting my insurance company involved. Is that a good idea or not? Is that okay to do?"
Well, you know, when you have a contract with an insurance company, the thing that you got to be careful about is what does your contract with your insurance company say? Now, it does seem like a good idea. Hey, look, you know, I've got a young child on my insurance policy. My insurance rates are already high enough, and now my child has a minor accident. If I tell the insurance company about it and get them to pay for the other person's damage, then that's going to cause my insurance rates to go up. And it very well may cause your insurance rates to go up. But the reality is that if you read your contract with the insurance company, you may have a responsibility to tell the insurance company in the event that there is an accident. Now, could your insurance company not find out about it? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But if they find out that you haven't told them that an accident occurred and you just tried to pay it out of your pocket, you could lose your insurance coverage, and then you may have a difficult time getting insurance from another insurance provider. Or if you can find insurance with another insurance provider, it may be at a much higher rate.
Okay. We've got callers waiting. We've got Chris on the line with a question from Falkville. Hi, Chris. Thanks for calling. What's your question tonight?
Yes. So I started a new business in May. On June 26th, a guy went to sleep, crossed the center lane, hit me, told the state trooper that he fell asleep and he hit me, and it was all his fault. It did $47,000 worth of damage to my tow truck, which was totaled, which I'd only owned the truck 6 weeks. His insurance company played games with me for over 6 weeks until I had to call my insurance company to get the truck paid for because I couldn't make payments on it, and it's sitting there wrecked, and I couldn't use it. And so my insurance company, all they did was made my lien, you know, they just paid my lien holder off.
Okay.
Minus there was about $5,000 left there that was, you know, because I just bought the truck, hadn't only made one payment on it because of the interest. I got no lost time for my truck, you know, because all my insurance company did was just made me whole.
Yeah,
What can you do about that?
I've called some lawyers about it, and because I didn't get physically injured in the accident, no lawyer wants to help me.
Well, you know, Chris, here's the deal. You know, and I can tell you why. I mean, you call these lawyers and they take a percentage of what they collect because we don't make a nickel unless, at least in my law firm, we don't make a nickel unless we recover for you. So a lot of times law firms won't take cases like yours in a car wreck scenario where there wasn't an injury, and that's a shame. But I'll tell you a couple of things that you need to be aware of. The first thing is that when you're involved in an accident like that, and your vehicle is totaled, then yes, the person who caused the accident is responsible for paying to you the fair market value of your vehicle. But I've been involved in cases where tractor-trailer drivers that are acting independently of the company have been involved in an accident and they lost the use of their tractor-trailer. And then, you know, they can't haul loads back and forth, so it's an actual business that they're losing revenue from. You have a right to make a claim for loss of business revenue. And so if you had some sort of way to substantiate how much time you lost and how much money you would have made, those are claims that you can make. The $5,000, and on a different issue, the $5,000 that your insurance company didn't pay is going to be a little more difficult, because what a company is required to pay is the fair market value. So if you bought your vehicle and then you still had interest on it, because as soon as you drive your truck off the lot, it loses $5,000 in value. That is not going to be something that a defendant would be responsible to pay. However, if you have a loss of business income, that's a claim that you can make, and I'm guessing if you're down 6 weeks, that's a pretty substantial amount as as somebody who's pulling folks off the side of the road. So that's something you should contact a lawyer about, and they should be happy to work that through with you. And there's some options that you have in terms of what courts that you could file a potential action there.
So if he made the claim against his own insurance company to get the money for his vehicle, is it his own insurance company that would pay for his lost income, or he's going to have to sue the other side?
No, and that's an excellent question, Sharon. One of the things that we learn, one of the things that happens with your policy of insurance with your own insurance company, is that generally they're not going to pay for anything but the loss of value of your property, specifically the vehicle. So any of the loss of business income that you have, or any other claims that you may have because of that wreck, are not going to be covered by the insurance company. As another thing, if this fella fell asleep at the wheel, maybe he was taking some sort of medication that caused him to fall asleep. Maybe he worked too much at his job. Maybe he knew he shouldn't have been driving. So you may be entitled to punitive damages in that kind of scenario that could soften the blow for a situation where you had this $5,000 out. Punitive damages seek to deter the conduct of somebody like this driver, to make sure that no one else drives like him on the roadway. So that may be an option as well.
Good deal. We're going to take a break. Be right back. We've got a number of callers waiting, and we've got some more text questions in. Stay with us. We'll be right back. It's Ask Us Anything night.
You're watching WAAY 31 Law Call. Your rights, your calls, live. Presented by the Tennessee Valley's award-winning personal injury and wrongful death law firm, Timberlake, League & Brooks. Featuring the knowledge and experience of Attorney Michael Timberlake, Attorney Will League, Attorney Heath Brooks, Attorney William Maservi. And hosted by broadcaster and family law attorney Sharon Doviet. This is WAAY 31 Law Call.
Welcome back. It's Ask Us Anything Night on 31 Law Call. Heath Brooks is here from Timberlake League and Brooks. Before we get to all our questions, you've got a nonprofit video giveaway. What's going on?
So here's the thing. It's pretty exciting. So this is an opportunity for a nonprofit in this area to apply for an actual advertisement, a marketing advertisement that they can send out to the rest of the community, that they can alert the community to what they do as a nonprofit and to how that they can benefit the community. And so we've got just a fantastic group of nonprofits in this community, and we thought this was a good way to give back to the community, to give a nonprofit the opportunity to put themselves out there. And so, we have a third party making the decision about who this is going to be based upon the application process. And we're really excited about it to see everybody apply.
So check it out, law-injury.com/blog, and learn more about it. And the deadline September the 15th.
That's right.
Callers waiting. Rich is on the line with a question from Maysville. Hi, Rich. Thanks for waiting. What's your question tonight? Hi.
I want to thank you for your expert advice.
Thank you, Rich.
I call you all the time, and my question is, I've got a sister that is disabled, and she had some property she got out of my dad's estate. Well, she called me and asked me if I could help her because she's wanting to sell it. And she's disabled. Her son used to live there, but he moved out. And I went by there to look at it the other day to check it out and have some people that would come over there because there's weeds and trees growing up around the trailer. And I told her I'd go over and look at it, and a lot of neighbors were writing my plate number down, watching me and everything. My question is that I told her I would help her, but I wonder if there could be any legal repercussion on this, because somebody has been cutting the grass and taking care of it, and she's wanting to put it up for sale. So I'm just wondering if she's going to owe anybody for doing that, or if it's her property, the taxes are all paid, or what do we do?
Do you think she's got a real deed? So it came through the estate, you said. Does she have a deed? It's got her name on it now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if somebody in the neighborhood is cutting the grass and that's something that they volunteered to do, then there's no responsibility of your sister to that person, specifically. In other words, you don't have to pay, there's no requirement to pay anything out of a sale of the property to whoever's been cutting the grass or maybe cutting down some of the weeds or whatnot. And if your sister has clear title to that piece of property, then she can sell it to whoever, whenever she wants to sell it. There's nothing preventing her from being able to do that. And if she's asked you to help her, there's nothing preventing you from helping her. Either. And I don't know what kind of disability your sister has, but you may consider getting a power of attorney, a durable power of attorney, or a limited power of attorney that can assist you in the legal process at going through signing some of the paperwork necessary to get it sold. And that may benefit you.
We've got Aaron on the line with a question from Huntsville. Hi, Aaron. Thanks for calling. What's your question tonight?
My question was, my old lady, she was involved in a car wreck. It wasn't her fault.
Okay.
She was going up under the highway on Sparkman, and a dude ran the red light, and he hit her and knocked the tires up under the van.
Okay.
And the van we were still paying on the van. And the record man carried it to his shop, and he kept it out there for a month. And then when we got it out of the shop, we had to keep it, out in the country for a little while at my dad's salvage yard until the company came in and they fixed the car. But the problem was, they said we still owed on it, and I thought they probably took care of, paid off on something, because we even drove the car, and it was a year before they can even get assessed to fix it.
Okay. So is it a situation where you still owe money on the car? They didn't give you any money for the car. Do you still have the car?
Yes, sir. We still got it.
Okay, and has the insurance company paid you for the vehicle yet?
No, they ain't paid me nothing for the vehicle. The only thing they did is fix the vehicle.
Okay. So So there's a couple things you may be able to do here. So first thing is that if a vehicle was damaged by someone else and you were paid for, what the insurance company has to do is they have to pay you to repair the damage. If the damage was paid for, then that's the first thing that they do. The second thing that they're required to do is it sounds like it's a relatively new vehicle. If there was damage to the vehicle that decreased the value of the vehicle, that's a potential diminished value claim. And what that means is that if you took your car and you put it on a lot right next to another one just like yours, same make, same model, same bells and whistles, same color. One had been wrecked like yours had, one hadn't. And what is the difference in value of those two vehicles? And that's your diminished value claim. And if the insurance company hadn't paid you for that diminished value claim, then that's something you need to make a claim for.
You have got an interesting case, a very sad case that you were telling me about that involves nursing homes. Nursing homes, folks who work in nursing homes, bless them. Some very good people taking care of our loved ones, and one day we're going to be there. You've got one where a lady was not fed for how long?
Yeah, I mean, there was a situation where she wasn't fed for a significant period of time, and ultimately, we believe that caused her to pass away. And so, one of the lessons that teaches us, and when I see these types of cases, is that I'm always concerned with nursing homes and the appropriate staffing that they have. And what I mean is that the people that work at nursing homes, they have really difficult jobs. Sometimes they work over their hours, and a lot of time, and when I say over their hours, I mean 12, 15-hour days, 7 days a week. I mean, it's a very difficult job, and you have to take care of folks that are not in good physical condition. And so a lot of times these nursing homes are for-profit companies, and the best way to cut costs is to cut staffing. And so you'll have these people that really need help, but then there's not enough staff to take care of them. And so corners are cut. People are forgotten. And in our scenario, we had a situation where a lady wasn't getting the proper water and the proper food that she needed. So one of the things that I always tell people is that if you have a loved one in a nursing home, make sure that they're properly taken care of. Go and see them. Make friends with the nurses, make friends with the doctors, so that you can ensure that your loved one can get the care that they needed. Otherwise, what ends up happening is the nightmare scenario where your loved one didn't get the water that he or she needed, didn't get the food that he or she needed, and ultimately you're talking to someone like me.
Just amazing that can happen in a facility. We got this email question in. This one was anonymous. If I make a call to the sheriff about some illegal activity that I know my neighbor is engaged in, will I have to testify in court against him, or can they keep my identity secret? Signed, anonymous. If you report it, I think most law facilities, you can make an anonymous report. There are ways to do it. They've got a hotline somewhere.
Yeah, you can make an anonymous report. I mean, the distinction is that if you're the victim, if you're the victim of a neighbor that is trespassing and you're filing a claim against that neighbor, then you are going to have to testify. Otherwise, there's no charges that are being presented. It's difficult to prove that particular case. But if you're making an anonymous call about something that you saw a neighbor doing, you can do that anonymously. Now, if the police officer says, "Who are you?" or the police station tries to get your information and you decline to do that, it may be a situation where it's not investigated. But it is a situation where you can make an anonymous call to a police station and keep you're not required to tell your name or your number.
We got this text question in. Someone says, I had colon cancer in 2021. Very sorry about that. Is it too late to file against Zantac? So I'm assuming there must be some class action lawsuit against Zantac. And you probably don't know what the deadlines for various things. But if you think that you have been a victim and you need to join a class action, how do you know what the rules are and what the deadlines are and those kind of things?
I do know a little bit about the Zantac.
Okay.
These Zantac claims, they've been going on for some time now, and people were taking them for acid reflux, and there were some health hazards associated with taking Zantac over significant periods of time that were not told to consumers. And actually, there's allegations that it was buried by the company that was manufacturing these cases. These cases are, I believe, still down in a federal court down in Florida. And there are some serious claims, some serious allegations that the extended use of Zantac caused liver cancers, kidney cancers, gastrointestinal stomach cancers, and things like colon cancers and things of that nature that were pretty high risk, particularly for the significant period of time that you took it. So if you have a potential claim against against Zantac manufacturers, that's something you need to contact lawyers about immediately. Those claims are ongoing. A lot of times in these big cases, this is not a class action, these are individual claims. A lot of times in these big multi-district litigation cases, the statute of limitations or the time limits are told. In other words, they're put on pause because maybe you don't know that the colon cancer was caused by Zantac. So it's essential to contact a lawyer as soon as possible, just in the event that you may run out of time.
We're going to take a break. Be right back answering more of your questions. It's Ask Us Anything night. If you didn't get your questions answered tonight, here's how to get in touch with Heath Brooks with Timberlake Lee and Brooks. They are personal injury attorneys, so that's everything from car accidents to medical malpractice, nursing home negligence. 256-536-0770 or 800-804-2502. The website is law-injury.com, and if you like them on Facebook, you can learn more about the law that way.
And if you need to speak with Sharon Doviet, she's a family lawyer. She does everything from child custody. She does divorce work. She can be reached at 256-539-7337 or SharonFamilyLaw.com.
Thanks for all your calls and questions, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.